Okay, we are recording. As I mentioned, my name is Bill Parliament, and I am the Vice President of Digital Marketing here at Stream Companies, and today's webinar is all about local SEO secrets. And I'm very excited to bring to you today this webinar. Again, SEO is near and dear to my heart. It's how I got first started in digital marketing, and I really love some of the things that's going on in the local SEO stratosphere. So a little bit about me. Again, Bill Parliament. I'm the VP of Digital Marketing, which means I basically oversee the entire team of search engine optimization consultants, paid search consultants, inbound marketers, and social media. Worked with hundreds of clients in the past, ranging from solopreneurs and small business owners to large organizations and industry leaders, helping them to optimize their online content for maximum search engine exposure. So real quick, some housekeeping. We are on a webinar, which means we're on a computer, we're on a internet connection, and sometimes we can lose a connection, whether from the internet or from, we could get a glitch in the system from GoToWebinar. I don't expect that to happen, but it does happen from time to time. So I always like to remind everyone that if something were to happen to this webinar, we will have a replay of the webinar, and we'll send out an email to everybody when that will happen. But again, I do not foresee any problems. Today's webinar, again, is all about local SEO. And if you're not already doing this, please follow Stream Companies on Twitter. You're here to learn all about local SEO, and of course, social media is a part of SEO. Follow us at Stream Companies, and if you want to tweet about this webinar or ask us any questions about this webinar, feel free to use the hashtag StreamNR. So follow us on at streamcompanies.com and use the hashtag StreamNR. We'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or feedback, we can search that hashtag and we can get back to you just as soon as possible. So, what is local search engine optimization? What is local search and why is it important? So basically, local search engine optimization, or SEO, is the process of improving the visibility of a website or your web page in the search engines via the natural or unpaid means with geographic intent. So what we're talking about here is optimizing your website, your web pages for local key terms and key phrases. And this is really important because I know a lot of people that we have on today's webinar own or manage local businesses. So Chiquita had a study, just I believe it was October 2012, that shows that 43% of the searches on Google have some local intent. So when you think about the billions of searches that are done a month on Google, that's really an astronomical amount. So local search is really growing, and as you can see, most searches, well, I should say 43% of searches on Google have some sort of local intent. So if you own a local business or if you manage a local business, this is really important for you. So why optimize for local search? Okay, so we already talked about that 43% of Google searches have local intent, but 35% of Americans use search to find a local business. So the days of cracking open the yellow pages are long gone, and people like to go to their computer. And as you can see here, the next bullet point is 50% of mobile searches have local intent. And you know, we're seeing search volume in about 35–40% of search coming to our websites. Our mobile is mobile traffic. So of the mobile searches, 50% of those searches have some sort of local intent. The third reason why you want to optimize for local search is many times your local rankings can outrank your traditional organic listing. So as you'll see in a bit, I'm going to have a screenshot up here for you guys to take a look at the difference between the traditional type search engine results page and the local search results page, and I'm going to show you the difference there. But many times we can see that our local listings show up above the regular natural organic search results. Local search helps level the playing field. So if you're able to take your local business and rank it above, the big boys would say, Best Buy or Amazon, Barnes & Noble, something along those lines, your local business can in fact outrank those, and you can be on the first page with those larger brands. So really important to understand that local search helps level the playing field for local businesses. And finally, you're able to geo-target. So if you run a local automotive dealership or pizza shop or appliance center, you may not want people from California coming to your website if you have an East Coast business. It just doesn't make sense. So geo-targeting your content and your website to target your niche market is very important. So this is why you really want to optimize for local search. So here's an example of a pretty common search engine results page. You can see here that at the top we have our PPC listings here in purple and our regular SEO listings in orange. So when you do a search for, I believe this search was computer desk, you can see that the regular search engine results page showed up, and we got the paid search ads. You can see some of the larger brands, as you would expect, for your paid search, and for your natural organic. You have the Amazons of the world, the Overstocks, and Office Depot, all showing up for that particular keyword. So here's an example of what a local search results page looks like. So you can see here the search term query was steakhouses, and what we got here was from a local search result. I'm located here in Malvern, PA, which is very close to Philadelphia. So you can see the regular SEO results show there's top 2 listings. Philadelphia .menu pages are the first 2 results, and then we have a UrbanSpoon.com result, and then right under those 3 results you can see the local SEO results. So we're seeing Ruth Chris Steakhouse located on Broad Street in Philly, Morton Steakhouse on Walnut Street in Philadelphia, and then of course Union Trust Steakhouse located on Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. So this is the difference. This is when you type in a regular search query, a very broad search term like steakhouses, and it returns local results along with the more traditional results. Here's another example of local search listings. Here you can see I typed in with a geo modifier, and what I mean by geo modifier, I'm talking about using the word Exton, which is a city close to us here in Malvern. And when you type in the term Exton Pizza, you can see that at the top of the search results, we can see various different pizza shops that are close to my location. So you can see Rocco's Pizza, Ron's Original, Fontana Pizza and Grill, and Anthony's Pizzeria. So as you type in a search query with a geo-targeted term, these local results will show up. And I will tell you from what we've seen from some of the search queries that people are becoming more savvy as to what they're searching, and people are using these geo-targeted or geo-modifiers in their search queries. So I just wanted to show you some examples of what a regular SEO page or local SEO page would look like. And many times when you're doing local searches, your local location will impact the results of that search. So for example, as I mentioned, we're located in Malvern, PA. We're just outside of Philadelphia. I changed my search location from Malvern to Seattle, Washington. And if you recall, when we did some of the other computer desk searches, they returned some search results from the Philadelphia area. But when we do the search term computer desk Seattle, Washington, you can see now in the search engine results page that Google is returning results from the Washington, Seattle, Washington area. So here's another example here where you put in pizza and we're using Seattle, Washington. Again, Google detects the location, and now what we're getting for the pizza shops are these pizza shops located in Seattle. So Google is pretty smart. We're just here typing in a regular broad term keyword phrase like pizza, and because we're searching from Seattle, Washington, it will show local results. And you can see up top here, even though this is a broad term, we got Domino's showing up first, and then we got Pizza Hut second, two large brand terms showing up, brand name businesses, and then right under here we have the local listing. So really important to understand how the local SEO atmosphere looks when your customers and buyers are searching for your business online. So now let's talk about the local SEO process. How do you go about optimizing your website to show up higher in the search engines for your keywords, your geo-targeted local keywords? Now, one thing to keep in mind is we are talking about a local SEO, and it's very similar to the way that you would do traditional SEO optimization, and we've done SEO webinars in the past, more traditional style SEO webinars. So local search is very similar to doing traditional SEO, but there are a few things that you want to change up a little bit, a few little nuances, if you will, to local search. But one thing that we always hold true to is the way that we here at Stream Companies does SEO, and we always start first with content quality and accessibility. Is the content on the website useful? Is it helpful? Does it help educate the buyer or the visitor to make a better buying decision? Are the keywords correct? In other words, are people searching for the keywords and keyword phrases that you're optimizing for? And are the pages on your website the correct pages to target? So when we talk about keyword mapping, once we understand what keywords we're going to attack or optimize for, we need to find or figure out which pages on your website makes the most sense to optimize for that term. And then next, we want to do some link building. And this is where one of the nuances occurs from local search, because we have link building and something else that we call citation building. And we'll talk about this in a little bit. And of course, social signals. If we're putting great content on our website, if we're targeting the correct keywords, and if we're generating a lot of links from other websites, we should have a social buzz about our site. We should have people tweeting our website. We should have people liking our Facebook page, sharing content. So all this is very important to the overall SEO campaign. So let's talk about how we can get a little bit more granular from a local SEO standpoint. So the first thing I want to talk about is on-page SEO. And with on-page SEO, if we're thinking about the SEO pyramid, really that has to do with the content quality on the site and the keywords that we're targeting on your page. So when you think about on-page SEO, it really takes into consideration all of these things that you see on this screenshot. Keywords. What keywords are we targeting? The title tags of your website, the H1 tag on your website. How often are you talking about your keyword phrase? How often are you using that in your content? Are you using description tags? And where are you putting your keywords in the content of your website. So this is all about on-page SEO for local businesses. So the first thing that we want to start with, of course, is accessibility. Can the Google crawlers, the Yahoo and Bing crawlers, the search engines, can they crawl every page of your website so that they can find all of the content? Or do you have errors? Do you have missing pages? Do you have server errors? Is the metadata, meaning the title tags, the meta description, your H1 tags, are they missing? Are they incorrect? Are they too long? Do they have too many of their keywords in it? So what we want to do, anytime we're looking to optimize a website for local search, or any type of search engine optimization for that matter, is we want to do a technical audit of the website. And here's an example of a tool that we use where we basically put the URL into this tool through SEO Moz, and what SEO Moz does is it scans the website just like Google would and returns to us various issues and errors that we might find on a website. Now, these are some errors that we may not have been able to see with the naked eye, so this is why we need to run a SEO technical audit. But what we want to do first is make sure that the base, that the structure of your website is sound, to eliminate as many errors and problems as possible before we start the entire local search engine optimization campaign. So you can see here from this accessibility audit, this website unfortunately has about 15,000 different errors. It has some warnings. Some of the things that we're seeing on here are duplicate page titles. Of course, Google does not like duplicate content on websites, whether that's duplicate URLs or page titles or content on a page. Too many on-page links. Sometimes you can put too many links on a web page, and by linking out so much, it kind of leaks your SEO power from that page and does not allow that page to kind of stand on its own and rank in the search engine. So you want to watch how many links you put on a page. Your title tag elements are too long. Your title tag is the words that you see above the search bar when you're looking at a website, and that's typically the first thing that the Google crawler will see to help identify what the web page is all about. And typically that title tag of your web page or website shouldn't be any longer than 70. I know I try to keep title tags to less than 65 characters because I don't want the search engine to think that we're trying to manipulate the search engines. I don't want them to think that we're trying to do black hat tactics or anything that's meant to trick the search engine. So the other thing is when you put too many keywords or too many words in your title tag, it dilutes the primary keyword that you're trying to rank for. So if we want to rank for, let's say, appliance store, King of Prussia, PA, but then we put a bunch of other keywords in that title tag, it's going to be a little more difficult to rank for that term because Google needs to take into consideration all those other words, so you're kind of diluting its effectiveness. Of course, duplicate page content. Do you have URLs on your website that are different URLs, yet when you go to those URLs, the content on those pages is near duplicate or exactly duplicate? And that's something we absolutely want to avoid so that we don't get penalized by Google for, again, those black hat tactics. Again, we may not even know that we have duplicate content on our website. We may not even know that we have our title tags are too long. This is why we want to run a SEO accessibility audit. And of course, we have overly dynamic URLs and missing or empty title tags. So we have a bunch of errors here. So now that we have an understanding of what we're looking at this website from a technical standpoint, now we need to we now know what we need to do in order to correct those problems. So the next thing we want to do is look at the content quality on the site. Again, does the content create a phenomenal, useful content that will delight visitors while answering their queries? If your content does not help educate your buyers and customers and visitors, help educate them to make better buying decisions, the content probably needs to be punched up a little bit. You need to make sure that you're writing for your visitors and secondly, for the search engine. So make sure that your content reads well and that it's helpful. That's the best type of content that you can put on your website from a search engine optimization standpoint. So let's talk about content. What kind of content do we want to see on our website? So the first thing that you want to do is you really, really want to consider blogging. If you have a website and you do not have a blog on your website, you're really missing out on a lot of SEO power. This goes for local SEO and national SEO. Blogging is a great way to add a lot of great content to your website, especially WordPress blogs. Google tends to really rank WordPress blogs very high in the search engines. So when you're going to blog, you can do things like create product and service demonstrations. You can write how-to articles, helping your visitors use the products or services that they've already purchased or thinking about purchasing. You can create ebooks and white papers. You could create case studies of other people who have bought your products and services and how they've used them and how they've been successful using your products and services. You can use client testimonials, customer profiles. You could write about customer of the month, and you could do a little profile of your customers that come in and put that on your blog. You can share that on your Facebook account, and who wouldn't want to link back or share that with their family and friends? So those are some content ideas that you can do from a blogging standpoint. One thing from a local SEO standpoint is try to add some local news, some local flair into your blog. So what's going on locally? So if you're trying to rank for some things in Philadelphia, maybe talk about some of the news that's going on in Philadelphia. Local events. Are there parades? Are there concerts? What's going on locally that you can write about that would help bring local traffic to your website? I know we have one client where we did a kind of a guide. It was a company that's up in Boston, and we did a guide for New England Patriots fans, tailgating tips at Gillette Stadium. And that brings a lot of traffic to the client's site because we're getting in front of the eyeballs of their customers from a local standpoint. You can also write about different local laws and ordinances. For example, 4th of July, can you blog about the different fireworks schedules and locations? What about holiday trash time? So what's going on in your location? Really try to become a local authority when it comes to your website. So some other things that you could do is you can create videos. Videos work very well for local keywords. You just want to make sure that you title them with your local keyword in the title. Another thing that you can do with your video, especially if you're using YouTube, is YouTube allows you to geo-target your video. So you can go into the Advanced Settings tab, and you can simply put your address in the geo-target box and geo-target those videos to help you rank those videos for local search terms. Pretty cool. Images like infographics, products, pictures, pictures of your happy customers using your products or services, pictures of your employees. Another tip that you can use there, if you're using a smartphone, a lot of people do not know this, but you can, by taking pictures with your smartphone, it automatically geo-targets that content, and that content will have that geo-target information, to help rank for those local search terms. So again, another cool local SEO tip. And of course, you could do audio, podcast. You could do a podcast, record yourself talking about your products and services, or have a weekly show about your products and services. Upload your podcast to iTunes. It's a great way to get links back to your site and to get additional people to find your business. So that's just a few content ideas that you can start using right away to start ranking higher in the local search engine results. And you can use these strategies as well if you're running a national business and you want to get higher rankings. This works for everything, but really, really works for your local keywords. So now, since we were just talking about keywords, let's talk a little bit about keyword research. So a keyword is a word or phrase that your buyers or visitors, customers, type into a search engine to find the products and services you sell. So it makes no sense at all to optimize your website if you do not know what your buyers and customers are searching for. So let's talk about how you can find great keywords, great local keywords to optimize your business around. So the screenshot that I have up here is a screenshot of the free Google keyword tool. It's very easy to find. All you need to do is do a Google search for Google keyword tool, and typically it pops up right up top. And when you click on it, you'll see a web page. It looks very similar to this. When you are searching, when you're doing a search, you can put your word or phrase in the box here. You can even put your website URL in here and click search, and the Google keyword tool will return keywords that they feel are related to your domain name. When you're doing your keyword research, you want to make sure that you tick the box over here where it says match types. You want to make sure that you're doing your keyword research and you're looking for the exact phrase of the keyword that you're searching for, because if you do broad or phrase, it'll show a combination of search terms, or it'll show the total search volume of those keywords based on various other words used in the search term. So what we want to do is make sure that when we search for our keywords, we want Google to tell us the search volume for the exact phrase that we're looking for. So very important when you're doing your keyword research. So here's an example of the Google keyword tool. And as you can see here, we have our search term here, which is attorney. We click the search box, the search button, and what the Google keyword tool will do is return a listing of keywords. So you can see here our primary keyword is attorney. You can see here we have competition, global monthly searches, and local monthly searches. So this is the keyword that we're searching, attorney. We can see that there's about 49,500 exact match searches a month just for the keyword term attorney. Now, when you see competition here, this just means how competitive it is from a paid search standpoint. In other words, how many paid search ads are on the search results page for this term. This has nothing to do with SEO. So what we want to look at is we want to look at the local monthly searches, because local monthly searches tell us the search volume for the U.S. The global monthly searches show the search volume for the entire world. So we only want to look at our local searches in the U.S. You can see here as we type in the word attorney, we get other suggested keyword terms and phrases that we can optimize for. So this is a really cool tool that you can start using to kind of start finding some keywords that your buyers and visitors are searching for in order to find your business. So what makes a great local keyword? Well, the first thing that you want to look at is you want to make sure that the keyword has high search volume. Okay? You want to make sure that people are searching the word. I mean, there are times where you might optimize for a keyword term where you can't find any search volume on the Google keyword tool. But for the most part, you want to find those keywords that have some search volume. Now, I will say this, from a local search perspective, it's a little more difficult finding keywords with a lot of search volume. That's because we're looking at a predefined area. Typically, it could be 25 to 50 miles radius around your business. So you can imagine if you're only looking for a particular keyword term in a 25-mile radius, as opposed to nationally or internationally, the volume of keyword search volume is going to be lower. The next thing you want to look for is low competition. So you want to look for weak sites or web pages that are ranking in the top 10 listings of a search results page. So, you know, if you find a keyword that has some high search volume, but you're competing against, let's say, Amazon.com or IRS.gov or anything like that, a big, powerful website like Wikipedia, it's probably not the best idea to target that keyword, because it could take you a very long time, could be very expensive to beat that website out because it is so powerful. And again, what we're looking for finally from a keyword term, we want to look for high-value keywords. Does the keyword have some sort of commercial intent? So rather than attorney, we might want to see personal injury attorney. So now you're getting a little bit more granular. And then if you find personal injury attorney in Philadelphia, if you're a personal injury attorney in Philadelphia, that's going to be a more commercially viable word, because when someone types in personal injury attorney Philadelphia, that's probably someone in Philadelphia looking for a personal injury attorney. So those are the types of keywords that you want to find. Now, one caveat to this is you want to look for keywords that have those geo modifiers. So if we can find a keyword that has high search volume, low competition, and has a high commercial value to it, and has a geo modifier like Philadelphia, Trenton, or if you say New Jersey, PA, Savannah, Georgia, whatever it might be, that's going to be a great keyword for you for local search. If you're having a hard time finding keywords with search volume for your local location, I would just stick to the more broad terms and then just use your geo modifier. So in this case, let's say the word attorney has a high search amount. You could do attorney Lexington, Kentucky. If you lived in Lexington, Kentucky, just add your geo modifier to the end of the broad keyword term, if that makes sense. So here's the other thing that makes local keyword research a little bit different. Typically, as we just mentioned, local keywords have less search volume than a broad term like attorney. So attorney Philadelphia, or HVAC, in this example we're using the term HVAC Philadelphia, is going to have less search volume than the term HVAC. But the difference between national and local SEO is, while there's less search volume, there's definitely more variations on the search term. So this is why it's so important to keep adding content to your website so you can rank for these other terms. Because if your hot water heater breaks, do you search hot water heater service, hot water heater repair, hot water repair technician? So from a local search standpoint, you may not find keywords that have as much search volume, but you'll find keywords that have many different variations, and you're going to want to optimize your website for as many different variations of those keyword terms as you can, so that you can show up in the search engines for those keyword terms. Here's another example of keyword diversity. Attorney Philadelphia. We can see here that you have Attorney Philadelphia, then you got Tax Attorney Philadelphia, Attorney in Philadelphia, Philadelphia District Attorney, Real Estate Attorney Philadelphia, Civil Rights Attorney Philadelphia, Car Accident. So you get the point. So you know, Google sees about 1 billion searches a month, and of those searches, about 20% are unique searches, meaning Google has never seen those search terms before. So this is why when we're doing keyword research for a local business, it's really important to do your keyword research, find the keyword terms, all the different variations, and optimize your website around these different variations, even though there may not be a lot of search volume for these terms. And when you're optimizing your site, and we'll get into content a little bit, the way to optimize these terms is to create a page on your website for each one of these keyword phrases, and create content to optimize so that your website can show up for these keyword terms. So I just mentioned content, and here's an example of the perfectly optimized web page. After you already have done your keyword research, you've done your your due diligence. Now you're ready to create a page for that particular keyword. And let's say you owned a chocolate donut shop, and you wanted to create a page on your donut shop's website for chocolate donuts. So here's how you would want to go about it. Of course, in your page URL, you would want to make sure that you're using the term chocolate donuts. You might want to use your geo modifier here in your URL, so it could be chocolate donuts Philadelphia. so that if someone's searching for the term Chocolate Donuts Philadelphia, your URL will help your page rank. Your page title or your title tag, Chocolate Donuts in Philadelphia, and then you could have your term here. Your meta description, this is all the stuff we were talking about for on-page SEO. So your meta description here, you can put in Mary's Bakery, chocolate donuts are possibly the most delicious, perfectly formed, flawless chocolatey donuts ever made. And we're located right here in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And then you want to use your H1 tag. Make sure that you use your keywords in your H1 tag. Again, where can you use your geo modifiers? You can put an image of the donuts with your alt attribute attached to your image. Again, using your geo modifiers in the body text. You want to make sure that you're using your keywords and using them in different variations. Make sure you're using your geo modifier in the page content, all very important. So this is an example of a perfectly optimized page targeting the keyword phrase chocolate donuts. All you need to worry about doing is adding your geo modifiers. So we were just talking about on-page ranking factors, and what I want to do is talk a little bit about the most important, in my opinion, one of the most important on-page ranking factors for local search, and that is your NAP, or your name, address, and phone number. It's my opinion that this is the most critical from a local SEO standpoint. The way that you write your name, your address, and phone number on your website is critical. And here's why. Because some businesses could have the same address as you. In other words, let's say you have a business that's in the mall. So your business could have the same address as the mall and other stores within the mall. Your business could have the same name as other businesses. For example, McDonald's. McDonald's, is all over the place. How many different businesses do you know with the name McDonald's? The one thing that's unique to most businesses is their phone number. So that's why it's so important to have the name, address, and the phone number, a local phone number, and we'll get into that in a little bit, on your website. I think it's really important to use your local number, so your local area code, as opposed to an 800 number on your website, because most local businesses use a local number and do not use 800 numbers. Now, I will say this, that we do use 800 numbers on our clients' websites, but what we will try to do in many cases is make that phone number an image, because if the phone number is an image on your website, the search engines cannot crawl that information and get that 800 number associated with your business. So it's really important to make sure that you're using your local number in HTML so that the crawlers can crawl your phone number. And if you're going to use an 800 number as a tracking number, try to make that an image so that Google does not crawl that phone number and get confused between an 800 number and a local number. Again, if Google's trying to rank your business locally, it's going to say, why is this local business using an 800 number? So something to consider when you're optimizing for local SEO. So here are some important NAP ranking factors. So your NAP needs to be in text format so the crawlers can crawl and index the name, address, and phone number of your business. Your NAP should be listed on every page of your website. This is very important. I would recommend putting your NAP written out on the footer of your website so that it shows up on every page. So that way, if you have other pages on your website that are non-branded terms, let's say a term like pizza, if your address is on the footer and shows up on every page of your website, you have a chance to rank for more non-branded terms, because you just don't want to rank for your business's name. You don't want to rank as Domino's. You want to rank for Pizza Malvern or wherever you might be. So make sure you put your NAP in the footer of your website so it shows on all the pages of your website. You want to be consistent across your website, and this is a really tricky thing to keep in mind. You need to write your business's name, address, and phone number the same exact way over and over and over again. the smallest deviation in the way that you write your NAP can cause issues. So to the point where if you're 123 Main Street, do you write out the word street or do you abbreviate it ST? If you're 123 North Main Street, do you write out the word north or do you write N period? Do you use dots or dashes? It does not matter. Pick one way, one consistent way to write out your NAP on your website and stick with it as much as possible. Next, you want to make sure that your NAP is put as close together as possible. So you want to make sure that you put them into a chunk so you can make sure that your name, address, and phone number is associated with one another. So that's really important. Again, do not use 800 numbers on your site if you can. If you're using it to track traffic and conversions, that's all very smart. I would try to use your 800 number, put them in an image where the crawlers cannot index that content. So now let's talk about some off-page local SEO factors. And we talked about on-page, and of course that's everything that you can see on your website, the content, your title tags, and all the good stuff. Your off-page SEO factors are the things that happen off of your site to help your website rank higher in the search engines and the local search engines. So we're talking about content, social networking, articles, bookmarking, videos, and blogs. So off-page SEO is really about link building or getting links from other websites pointing back to your site. A link pointing back to your site is basically a vote of confidence from that webmaster to your website saying, hey, readers of my website, this guy over here has great content. Go and read it. I like the content so much, I'm going to link to it so I can share this content with you. So getting one quality and quantity, one-way backlinks to your website is still one of the best ways to get your site ranking higher in the search engines and the local search engines. So what is link building? So link building is basically, as I mentioned, getting other websites to link back to your website. So this is an example of what link building is all about. How would you go about getting some links to your website? Now, because we're talking about local SEO, you do not need a ton of backlinks to rank well in the search engines, unless, of course, your niche or marketplace is really, really competitive. But I feel that doing some of the strategies that I've outlined here and getting a few very good, high-quality backlinks to your site can help go a long way to get your website ranked in the search engine. So here are some ways that you can get links to your site so you can do some guest posts or guest blogging. Let's say you own a local business and there's another local business that has a website and has a blog. People are always looking for fresh content for their site. Perhaps you could write a blog post for that business that complements your business, have them publish that on their website and link back to your website. So that's a great way to get some links. You can create link bait by creating great pieces of content, videos, other things like that that people want to link back to. Again, creating videos and putting them up on video sharing platforms is a great way to get links back to your website. Contests. Can your business run some sort of contest in order to get links? From a contest standpoint, could your local business sponsor a scholarship? And in order for someone to win that scholarship, could you ask people to do certain things to win the contest? Could they do community service or take pictures, or is it a grades or what they're doing in school? Whatever that contest might be, again, another great way to get links back to your website. And again, if you're a local business and you can reach out to the local colleges and high schools in your location, getting a link from one of those colleges or high schools could go a long way to help you rank your site higher in the search engines. Again, creating infographics, sponsorships. This is huge. Are you sponsoring, the area Little League team, the Chamber of Commerce, an entrepreneurial group, whatever it is that you might be sponsoring in your local community? Make sure that they put a link on their website back to your business. All of this kind of stuff will help your website rank higher in the search engines. So the next thing I want to talk about are citations. Okay, so we just talked about backlinks to your website, and now we're going to talk about citations. Now, citations are similar to links in a way, but not really, because a citation does not necessarily have to link back to your website. So basically, a citation is any mention of your business online with your NAP. So you're looking at the screenshot here of all these different local business citation directories, and if your business's NAP, your name, address, phone number, appears on any of these local directories, that will count as a citation for your business. So again, a citation is any mention of your business online, and there does not necessarily have to be a link coming from that citation back to your website. So that's what citations are. So what we want to do here is we want to create and we want to clean up our citations. And what I mean by clean up our citations, we just talked about how important it is for your NAP to be consistent across your website. It's just as important for your NAP to be consistent across the internet, because you don't want a bunch of citations out there with a mix match of NAPs where, you know, some of the citations might count towards your local rankings, some may not because they're not written correctly, and the search engines can't necessarily equate that particular citation back to your business. So it's really important to create new citations and do a check of your current citations and make sure they're cleaned up, that those citations have your proper name, address, and phone number formatted on these citation sources. So let's talk about a couple of different types of citations. The first type of citation is called a structured citation. And these citations are typically formatted with your local name, address, phone number, and located on internet yellow pages or directory websites like Yelp, yellowbook.com, Foursquare, Bing Local, that kind of stuff. So any local directory that lists local businesses would be considered a structured citation. These are typically the most powerful. The next type of citation that we talk about are unstructured citations. So this is a citation or where your name, address, and phone number is mentioned in the body of an article or web page in an unorganized manner. So if it's in another website that's not necessarily a local directory, or if your name, address, phone number is mentioned in a blog or an article, this would be considered an unstructured citation. Still good, but not as powerful as a structured citation. And then finally, hyperlocal citation is a citation from a very hyperlocal business directory. So if, let's say, you have a business in Philadelphia and you can find a Philadelphia business directory and you get your site listed on there as a citation, that would be considered a hyperlocal citation. So that, again, will help Google and the other search engines equate your website to the local location. So, you know, real quick, let's go over some of the top local citations that you want to get for your website. And first and foremost, you have to make sure that you're claiming your Google plus local place. If you have not claimed your Google local places page, which is now Google plus local, make sure you do that right away. It's very, very important, especially since Google owns search. Everything, you know, 65–70% of the search engine traffic comes through Google, so you really want to make sure that you're looking good on Google plus local. Yelp is another big one. This one just came into play because iPhones are now showing Yelp reviews on their iPhone. So you want to make sure that you're claiming your business on Yelp. Now, Yelp is great for restaurants, so-so for other businesses. So if you own a restaurant, I would say to you, absolutely 100% claim your listing on Yelp. But even if you're not a restaurant, you want to claim it because you want to get that good local citation. You want to make sure that your NAP is correct on Yelp. So it's really important. At the end of these slides, you can see I have the URLs. And if you're wondering, yes, there will be a replay of this webinar. It's usually within a few days. We have the recording and we put it back up on our website so you can review all this information. The third big local directory you want to get your business listed on, if you haven't already done it, is Yahoo. Yahoo Local. So again, the URL is down below. Yahoo is, still kind of sputtering along, but it's still a great place to get a local citation for your local business. And then finally, we want to look at a site like Bing. Okay, so you can go to bingplaces.com and get your website listed as a citation on these sites. Now, many of these sites, in order to have this done, you will need to have phone verification or postcard verification. So you put all your information into the boxes, and then, for instance, Google will send you a postcard with a PIN number so you can verify you own the business. Yelp and Bing use phone numbers. So you're going to want to make sure that you give your local phone number when you're claiming this, and make sure you can be by the phone so that these local listing directories can call you and you can verify your business. So another ranking factor from off-page standpoint is your page or domain authority. And now this is, we talked about backlinks, we talked about citations. Now we're going to talk about the authority or the popularity of your website. And basically, your domain authority represents a prediction about how your website will perform in the search engine rankings. Basically, it combines things like your links, citations, the copy on your website, your content, things of that nature, in order to kind of give a guide as to how powerful your website is. And authority has a lot to do with how popular a website is, meaning how many and the quality of backlinks coming into your website. And you want to use domain authority when comparing one site to another or tracking the strength of your website over time. So your page and domain authority are really important in how your website ranks in the search engines, and we'll get into this in a little bit. Now, domain authority is basically how strong or how popular is your entire domain, and your page authority is basically how strong is that particular page that you're looking for. It could be your home page, could be another page on your site. So let's talk a little bit more about page authority. So if you want to check the page authority of your website, it's typically page authority from 0 to 100. You can see that Google authority is page domain authority is 100, and the page authority is 98 out of 100. So a lot of authority, a lot of power there. You can go to a site called OpenSiteExplorer.org. You can put your URL in, and you can find out what your domain and page authority of your website is. You can also compare your domain and page authority to 5 other websites, probably your competitors, to see how you rank in page and domain authority compared to your competitors. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at local search rankings, because we want to see how many backlinks do you have to your site, how many citations are there online, and what is your page and domain authority of your website. We need to know these things so we can figure out how to beat your competition in the local search engine results pages. So that's a little bit about domain and page authority. So now let's talk about mobile SEO. And if we're talking about local SEO, we have to touch on mobile because search is becoming more fluid. And what do I mean by search is becoming fluid? Basically, people are walking around with their smartphones, and it's very easy to go from place to place. The search results will change based on where you're standing at the moment with your phone or your device. So it's really important to make sure that your site is optimized for mobile. Again, 50% of mobile searches have local intent, so you've got to pay attention to it. And mobile searches will soon outpace desktop searches. So in other words, the day of sitting down at your desk typing in a search is soon to come to an end because everyone's typing searches on their phones and their tablets. So let's talk about some ways to optimize your business for mobile SEO. first thing you want to do is go to your Google Analytics and find out what type of mobile traffic you're getting to your website. So, you want to see, are people actually using their mobile phones to get to my website? So the way that you can do that is by going into your Google Analytics account. And when you go into your Google Analytics account, on the left side, you can select audiences, and then you want to pick devices, and then you want to select mobile. You can see here on the screenshot, select audience, devices, and then mobile. And what this will show you is it'll show you the actual devices that are bringing traffic to your website. So here's an example of a site where you can see 140 visits came from the Apple iPhone, 121 from the iPad, here came from iPod. So you can really get granular and see what type of devices are coming into your, are driving traffic to your website, and is there any opportunity to optimize for those. The next thing that you want to do in your analytics account is go to your advanced segments. So when you, at the top of the page where you're looking at your devices, you can click on the box there, advanced segments. And what you want to do is look at the visits with transactions. And what this will show you, it can be actually visits with transactions or visits with conversions. And basically this will tell you, do you have mobile traffic coming to your website, and how is that mobile traffic converting, or is it not converting? So if you're getting lots of mobile traffic but you're not getting any conversions or transactions, there may be some reasons for that, and you have to look a little bit deeper to figure out what those could be. And specifically, it could be that your site's not ready for mobile. Perhaps you don't have a mobile site where people that are searching on their mobile devices can find your content easily. We also went over the Google keyword tool a little bit. I wanted to point out that when you are doing keyword research for local SEO, you have over here the little filter that says desktops and laptops. If you're looking to optimize your site for mobile SEO, there is a little filter that when you click on that you can select all mobile devices, and then you can do your keyword research based off of what keywords people are typing into mobile devices. So you may want to optimize your mobile site or pages that you're using for mobile with different keywords, or put those same keywords on your site if you're using a responsive design, so that your site will rank for those particular keywords, because people search differently on mobile than they do from a desktop. So another great little local SEO secret, that when you're using your Google keyword tool, you can use the filter and search keywords by mobile device. So is your website mobile friendly? Okay, so Google has came out and said that Google prefers responsive website design. And what do I mean by responsive website design? These are websites that change the size and the content. The content all stays the same, but the website itself adjusts to the resolution of the screen. So you will have the same website no matter if you're on a desktop, or if you're looking at it on a tablet, or if you're looking at it on a cellular phone or a smartphone. This is an example of a website, a responsive website after the webinar. If you want to take a look at it, this is a responsive website example that we did here at Stream Company, www.givetocabrini.com. You can notice that the website will adjust to whatever browser you're on. You can even move as you click the bottom right corner of the website and push it up to the left. You'll see how the website kind of collapses and formats into a website that can be seen on all search results pages, on all mobile devices. Here's another example of a responsive website design that we did for a local automotive dealer, MontgomeryvilleNissan.com. We believe this is one of the first responsive web designs for the automotive industry, and we're very happy. It's a very cool website. Again, it looks the same no matter if you're on a desktop, mobile, or smartphone. So quickly, let's go through some local search ranking factors, and these are the top 10 ranking factors that I've seen that affect search from a local standpoint. We'll go through these pretty quickly. So you want to make sure that your physical address of your business is in the city of search. So if you want to rank for the term Philadelphia Pizza Shop, it's important to make sure that your business is, of course, located in Philadelphia. Now, if it's not, some things that you can do there is you can create geo-targeted landing pages on your site, and you can target the term like Philadelphia Pizza Shop, or you can create a subdomain using the term Philadelphia and Pizza Shop, whatever it might be. But you want to make sure that the actual physical address of your business is in the city of search. You want to make sure that the categories, when you're claiming your local business in Google Plus Local, make sure you're using the proper category. So if you're running a restaurant or an automotive dealer, make sure that you're picking the categories that best describe your business. Very, very important. Another important ranking factor is the proximity of the address to the center of the Google map. So if you type in Malvern, PA, Google will show you a kind of like a little indicator where they feel that the center of Malvern is. And then you can see where your business is located related to the center of Malvern, and typically the businesses that are located closer to the center of that map will rank higher in the local SEO search result pages. Domain authority of your website. We just talked about that. How powerful is your website from a backlink and citation and content standpoint? How powerful is your overall domain, and how powerful are your individual pages? If they're not as authoritative as your competitors, you need to start doing some backlinking, you need to start adding some content to your site, and you need to start building that page and domain authority of your website to beat your competitors. The quantity of structured citations. So we talked about what a structured citation was, and that was your NAT, your name, address, phone number, listed on those local business directories. You want to make sure that you have a lot of structured citations on all, at least the major citation sources, but some of the other ones as well. So you can't have too many structured citations. You want to make sure that your city and state in the landing page where your Google Plus local page is linked to uses your city and state. So in other words, you claim your Google Plus local places page, you link to your website. The page that you link to should have your city and state somewhere on that page title. So something to keep in mind when optimizing for your on-page local SEO. Of course, the quantity of Google Plus local reviews. Now, Google Plus, I think next month we're going to do a whole webinar on how to optimize your business for Google Plus Local. But you want to make sure that you're getting lots of great reviews on Google Plus of people who are reviewing your business locally. And again, you want to make sure that you're getting lots of authoritative structured citations. So Bing Local, Google Plus, Yahoo, Yellow Book, all the big local citation directories. You want to make sure that you're getting a lot of quality citations pointing back to your site. Again, a citation is any mention of your business anywhere online. A structured citation is name, address, phone number on one of those local listing pages. You also want to make sure when you're claiming your Google Local Places page that you want to have a local phone number on that page. Try to avoid an 800 number. I know a lot of times we put those on there so we can track traffic, track conversions, but if you're having a tough time from a local search standpoint and you're using an 800 number or 866 number, consider changing that out for your local phone number. Very important. And finally, make sure that your NAT, your name, address, phone number, is written in HTML on your website, and it matches your Google Plus local page name, address, phone number. So make sure that the name, address, phone number on your website is in HTML, and it matches what you have on your Google Plus local page. And that's all I have. I know this is a lot of information, and I kind of went through it quickly towards the end. Again, we will put this webinar up on our Stream Company's website as a replay. And Again, if you have any questions or you'd like to reach out, please feel free to send a tweet to @StreamCompanies. Use the hashtag Streaminars, or you can send me an email or reach me directly through Twitter. And again, this is Bill Parliament, VP Digital Marketing here at Stream Companies. And have a great night, have a great weekend, and we will see you next month.